2011 5-center Canada coin. Today, we're breaking down the 2011 nickel, from its secret composition to the ghost varieties you need to look for in your pocket change. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about what this coin actually is. By 2011, the Royal Canadian Mint had fully transitioned to their multiply-plated steel technology. Weight, 3.95 grams. Diameter, 21.2 millimeters. Composition, 94.5% steel, 3.5% copper, and 2% nickel plating. Because of that steel core, these coins are highly magnetic. If you find a 2011 nickel that isn't magnetic, stop right there. You've likely found a major planchette error, though none have been officially confirmed for this specific year yet. Now, look at the bottom of the Queen's portrait on the obverse. Do you see that little circle with the M and a maple leaf that's the RCM logo? Before 2006, Canada used a P mark to indicate the coin was plated. But in 2011, the logo was the standard. Let's look at the numbers. In 2011, the Mint produced 230,328,000 nickels. To put that in perspective, that's more than double what they made in 2013. Because the mintage is so high, a 2011 nickel that you find in pocket change condition, what we call circulated, is generally only worth 5 cents. However, the 2011 year is significant because it was the tail end of the high production era before the Mint started tightening its belt on circulation numbers. So, if it's so common, why are people filming videos about it? Because of the varieties. This is where things get interesting. 2011 marked the 100th anniversary of the godless 1911 coins and the first proposed Canadian silver dollar. To celebrate, the Mint released a special edition proof nickel. Instead of the beaver, the reverse features the original 1911 design, a crown with maple leaves and the dual dates 1911 to 2011. You won't find this in a roll of coins from the bank. These were only available in special numismatic proof sets. Mintage, only about 6,000 of these exist in silver. Value, if you find one of these in its original packaging or graded, they can sell for 15 to 30 easily, sometimes more if it's a specimen finish. For the coin hunters out there, what should you look for in regular 2011 rolls? Die clashes, these are very common in Canadian nickels. Look at the beaver's fields. Sometimes you'll see the faint outline of the Queen's profile from the other side of the coin. This happens when the dies strike each other without a coin in between. The spitting beaver, a famous error on older nickels where a die crack runs from the beaver's mouth. Keep an eye out for any extra metal or lines near the beaver's face or the rock. Rotation errors, hold the coin with the queen upright, then flip it over horizontally. Is the beaver upside down or sideways? If the axis is off by more than 15 degrees, you've got a valuable error. Let's talk dollars and cents. Circulated 2011, 0.05. Brilliant uncirculated, 0.50, 1.00. High grade, if you find one that is flawless with no scratches and full luster, it could fetch 5 to 10 to a collector trying to complete a registry set. Silver proof 20.00 plus. The real value in 2011 is in the special wrap rolls. If you have an original, unopened roll of 2011 nickels from the Mint, those are currently selling for 10 to 15 because people love to hunt them for high-grade specimens. Conclusion. The 2011 nickel might not buy you a new car, but it's a perfect example of why you should always check your change. Whether it's a high-grade MS specimen or the rare 100th anniversary silver version, there is history in your pocket. I want to see your finds. Do you have a 2011 nickel with a die clash or a weird rotation? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that subscribe button and check out my other video on the rare 1921 King of Nickels right here. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting.